So you're thinking about moving to Wasaga Beach. Well, stick around. In this video, I'm going to take you on a bit of a driving tour. I got my dash cam set up so you can kind of see where I'm driving through, and you got this angle of me. So right now I'm right in front of Beach Area 1 is what most people are familiar with when they think of Wasaga Beach. But honestly, there's so much more. I'm going to take you on some different neighborhoods. Some of them aren't even really that close to Beach Area 1 because Wasaga Beach does have a lot of different areas that a lot of people don't even know about. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a house or just a cottage, there's a few different feels and a few different neighborhoods, and we're gonna go through that. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. That way you'll be the first to know of everything that is happening here in Wasaga Beach. My name is Kevin Da Silva, and I'm a local real estate agent with Royal LePage Locations North. I get calls all the time from people like you that are looking to move here or cottage here, or honestly, they just want to learn more about the area. Well, if that's you, don't hesitate to reach out. In the description box of this video, you'll see all the ways you can contact me, including a link where you can book a call directly on my calendar, and we can have a Zoom call that way at a time that works for you. We can get on the call, I can share my screen, we can learn a little bit more about your wants and needs before you come to Wasaga Beach, and we go look at houses and tour around the area. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get going, and let me know what you think. You leave a comment in the comment section as you're going through. If there's an area that I missed that you want me to go over, if I don't go through it in this video, I promise I'll make another one, and would love some of your feedback. Until then, enjoy the video and let's get at it. We are at our first stop here on this Wasaga Beach. Anyways, this is Blue Water. This is on the like on the west side of Wasaga. I'm gonna work west to east today just because of where I'm driving from. Driving from Collingwood back to Wasaga. So this is almost on the Collingwood border. And so this is a waterfront community. There's a common space over here. And these homes, they go anywhere from the little under $1 million. So if you're on the inside, not on the water side, right? If you're on the inside, they could be, high 8s, in the 9s, and they can hit $1 million too and above. On the water side, and some of the nicer and bigger ones, they could go $1.5 million. They can get a little close to 2 if they're really nice on the water, but that's kind of where you won't really get over 2 here at the moment, at least, and in our current market. But it's a nice little community. It's convenient being on the west side, super close to Collingwood for going to the Collingwood errands. I mean, you could go to west side Wasaga Beach amenities like 45th Street, Superstore, Canadian Tire, all that stuff, but you're pretty close to go to Collingwood too, so you can kind of pick and choose. Because you're in a waterfront community, there is a condo elements fee. There's a few things like snow removal on the roads, grass cutting in the common areas. You got the clubhouse over here, where there's a pool and gym, stuff like that. So your common elements fee is depending on the size, but around $300 a month to be part of that. Your taxes around in these homes, start around $4,000 a year, but if you're on the waterfront, your taxes could be as high as around $8,000. So that's definitely something to keep in mind too, right? They're all detached homes in here, by the way. There's no semi-detached and no condo towns or no towns or anything like that. These are all detached homes. Okay, so I'm approaching the roundabout on the west side of Wasaga Beach. So this roundabout, which connects to the other roundabout at Highway 26, that's what'll bring you over to Collingwood or over to Stainer, or if you're going to Airport Road and you're going back down to Brampton or the GTA, and you don't want to take the highway, you would take that. Now at this roundabout, I'm not going to roll in right now, but there's the casino you'll see on my dash cam footage. I'm not going to get right in there, but that's our new casino. It's been open, I guess, it's been 2 years yet, maybe 1.5 years or so. And there is plans for a Costco over there. They say it's confirmed, but I don't see a Costco sign yet, so we'll see. But that's the West End casino over there. Almost, getting not quite on the border of Wasaga and Collingwood and Clearview, but getting close to it. So I'm working my way over, again, working west to east. On on this side right here, this is the north side of Mosley. So I'm on Mosley right now, and this is the north side, which is very important, right? The north side of Mosley means you don't have to cross. If you live or cottage on the north side of Mosley, it means that you don't have to cross the road to go to the beach. The beach is right, it's right there at the end of these streets. It all looks white right now and covered in ice and snow, but if you're on that side of the road, you don't have to cross the main road of Mosley to get there. If you're on the south side of Mosley, no big deal. Just keep in mind that you do have to cross the road to go to the beach. And remember, Wasaga doesn't have a lot of main artery roads. It's really just Mosley, and then Mosley a little more like Centertown splits into Mosley and River Road, and those are kind of the two main roads there. But over on this side, it's really just Mosley is your main street. So in the summer, there's a lot of traffic, and getting to the other side of the road can just take a little longer sometimes, or if you have kids, you know, that's another big worry. A lot of people that shop for cottages here that do want to be walking distance to the water, being on the north side of Mosley is super important, because they don't want their kids, you know, running and crossing Mosley when it's busy in the summer. You know, there is a price difference. Like, same house on the north side and the south side, there will be a price difference, just for the fact of crossing the road. And then the other thing is, there's not that many crosswalks and lights. There's only 2 lights and a crosswalk, I think. I'm forgetting now, but about 2 lights between 45th Street and the roundabout. So that's, you know, 20 or 30 blocks. What I like about 43rd to 51st Street is you're in this cool spot where you're on the west side, so you're a little bit away from the really busyness of summer Wasaga, like let's say Beach 1. You're away from that. You're on the west side of Wasaga, which is close to Collingwood if you want to get a few more restaurant options. Collingwood just happens to have a few more restaurant options than Wasaga Beach does. And you're super close to the West End amenities like Superstore, Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, Starbucks, Timmy's, LCBO. Like you're right there. They're at 45th Street and Mosley, right? So if you're at 43rd to 51st, I'm going to call that walking distance, because you're not going to be more than a 5-minute walk, maybe an 8-minute walk if you're at 51st. But if you're on 43rd, 44th, 45th, 46th, 47th, 48th, you can walk to get a coffee in the morning and then go to the beach, and you don't have to get on any main roads. Or you can walk to LCBO if you need a refill. So I don't know. I think those things are super cool and super important. That's why I like that. Like I said, that northwest quadrant of 45th and Mosley. You know, 43rd, that being 43rd to 51st, north side of Mosley. There's just something special and unique about this section that I'm driving through that's really cool, especially for cottagers, that people that want to come here, unwind on the weekend. They come up from the city and they don't want to cross the main road. They don't want to cross. It's easy to cross it. I'm not saying it's hard. You know, you just cross the road, but they don't want to. They just want to, you know, to be quiet. They want to walk out their door and just walk to the beach. I'm on Shore Lane right now, by the way. I'm driving Shore Lane. So Shore Lane spans almost all of Wasaga, pretty much, and that's where all the waterfront homes are. There's a couple other waterfront streets, but Shore Lane's our main one. So I'm gonna turn right here on 45th Street. So 45th again is one of those main. It's one of the main roads out of Wasaga. Especially for the west side, it is the way out. Unless you're going to the roundabout and Airport Road, like I was talking about, this is one of your main roads that'll go to Highway 26 if you want to shoot back over to Barrie to get on the 400. But I like how you can kind of just get to Highway 26 and like really easily. Like you know, there's only 2 or 3 more lights up ahead there if you see on my dash cam, and then you're kind of out of Wasaga. You're on country road at that point, and side roads, and no traffic or anything like that. So it's really nice. This is a really nice. People tend to like the West End a little bit more than the East End. Prices seem to be a little bit more on the West End than the East End. They're both beautiful. They both have their charm. They're just different. So over here, I don't know if you can see on my dash cam here, I'm sitting on the corner of Mosley and 45th, and right there is Home Hardware. You got Subway, St. Louis, the Twisted Indian Wrap. I like that new place, or it's been there for years now. But anyways, Canadian Tire, A&W, Superstores right here. LCBO is you'll see me drive by it in a second. I don't know if you'll catch it on this screen, but in here you got your Timmy. So you can, if you're on one of those numbered streets on the north side, you can walk to Timmy's, LCBO, Shoppers Drug Mart. Like everything is right there. So I think the snowbanks are just covering it. Oh, there you go. LCBO. There it is. There it all is. Right? Again, it's winter. It's not the prettiest right now. But this is the YMCA Recplex. Recreational plex, right? The YMCA, there's a gym in here. There's a pool. There's kids swimming lessons during the week. There's meeting rooms there. Sometimes there's like, this is where the Wasaga would host something like the Spring Home and Garden Show or something like that. So that's the Recplex. Over here we have a pretty, I think it's only a year old. Wasaga's redone a lot of their parks, so that's been pretty cool. I'll do a video of parks when in the summertime when it looks a little nicer. But this is a brand new park. We got pickleball courts in here, nice tennis courts in here, swing sets, stuff like that. Skating rink at the window, just people skating right now. They turned the pickleball section into a skating rink. So yeah, that's the Recplex. This is over at Mosley and 42nd. And again, if you're on Shore Lane or 43rd Street, 42nd Street, if you're on this side, if you're on the east side of 45th, you know, you could walk to this as well. Walk to this park right here, right? There's a nice pathway right behind these trees. There's a pathway over there that leads down to the water, right to the beach. Like, that's a pretty cool pathway too. Okay, so I'm just turning off of Knox Road. I'm in between 45th Street and Sunnidale, so like west and kind of middle Wasaga. And I just turned onto Red Oak. I'm heading towards the Wasaga Sands subdivision area, kind of estate-sized lots. They're really nice. Estate-sized and then a few smaller lots, but still big. Arnell Crescent is a beautiful street. Definitely look at houses over there. It's really nice. Well, it's all part of this general area, right? So more mature area, bigger lots, bigger trees, a lot of 100-foot wide lots. It's kind of standard here. One of the areas of Wasaga that is still on septic. That's something to note. A lot of septic and well in this area. There are plans. I mean, I wouldn't even call them like dedicated, confirmed plans yet, but there is applications for notice of a development. This used to be a golf course, so that's caused a lot of controversy and a lot of upset people that live in this golf course community that might have some development, but nothing's confirmed yet as of this video. So we'll see where it ends up. I mean, homes in Wasaga Sands are a little all over the place in price, really depending on their size, their finishes, and which side of Wasaga Sands you're on. So the side will be at shortly, they're a little bit closer together to houses, and they're a little bit more similar, whereas where I am right now, they're all super different. Like every house looks completely different. Sales here are, a lot of them are $1.5 million. The taxes aren't as high because a lot of them are on well and septic, right? So yeah, there's been a lot of sales in the 1 to 1.5 range in the past year. If it's spectacular, it could get above 1.5. I don't think anything's hit 2 in this neighborhood. I'd have to double check that, but it would have to be, maybe someone asked to, but I don't think nothing ever sold recently for that price. I don't think. I'm gonna double check that. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm going through like every house is totally different, right? As you said, on my side view or my dash cam view, every house is like completely different. 2-car garages, 3-car garages, like they're pretty big in this area. So, but as you come around the corner here and get closer to Sunnidale, you'll see in just a couple minutes here that there's still wider lots than like your typical tight subdivision, but they're still bigger than that. So you can't really tell. That's pretty nice. Oh, a lot of cars here. What's going on? Oh, everybody's tobogganing. It's a beautiful day for tobogganing. These kids are nailing it right now. Let me see. Oh yeah, got some tubes out, some toboggans. This is the William Arnell Park right here. Gorgeous park. Look at all the space. Yeah, so now I'm getting a little bit more east on Wasaga Sands, getting very close to Sunnidale now. You'll see here, just in a minute, the homes are just a little closer together than what you just saw on that side. And there's one part of Wasaga Sands on the other side, on like closer to 45th Street. That's a newer spot where it is more subdivision-y, cookie cutter. I didn't drive through there today, but we'll do that on another tour. But that's a newer, bit of a newer area. And then there's the Lamont Creek side of it, just on the other side of the creek. I don't think we'll make it there today on this video, but stay tuned. There's always more to come. There's only so much I could pack in one day. So I'm approaching Sunnidale, which is probably the main, like the number one main way in and out of Wasaga Beach. I'd say like the main busy street. If you had, like I said earlier, on 45th Street, you can go out Sunnydale way, which turns into concession, or it turns into 10. Or you can go out 92 the other side of Wasaga towards Crosslands, which is like towards Elmvale, like kind of towards Barrie, right? So that's a new subdivision. They're doing pre-sales, the Riverscape, just over by the sand dunes. Part of this is the River's Edge subdivision on this side. There's 4 builders in here. That it all looks like one subdivision, and it is really, but it's kind of segmented into a few different areas where there was different builders. So you got Zancor, who's very well known over here. They've built a ton in Wasaga Beach. You got a mix of everything here: semi-detached, detached, townhomes. Prices over here, you're looking, I mean, there's a lot of different sizes in the detached, especially. And then it depends if you're backing onto the riverside there, the Treat. But generally speaking, you're in and around $1 million. So for like a kind of one of the bigger detached ones, I've seen a few recent sales as low as $750, $800. But I'm talking, you're getting a brand new house, right? Brand new home, $800,000. Some of the other ones are $1 million. It's a little rocky right now. A lot of snow. I keep saying, I can't believe how much snow is. Oh my god. Some of the townhomes are more like in the 6s. Maybe it can hit the 7s if they're really nice, but I'd say they're going to sell more in the 6s right now. There's a lot of inventory, so honestly, if you're a buyer and you want something new in Wasaga, I'm picking this subdivision. Of the 3 kind of new subdivisions, I'm picking this one. I like how central it is to get into town or get out of town. So because you're on the outskirt of Wasaga, easy to get to, you know, Highway 26 to the 400 or to Airport Road. You're minutes away from Airport Road. So that's, I like that you can get out fast if you want to go to the city for any reason, visit some family. A lot of people that move up here still have a lot of their family in the GTA. But I also like if you go into town and you just go straight to the water from here, like if you just hop on the main road I just came from 10, from Sunnydale, and you just go straight, you're gonna be at beach area 5. So, and that's a nice beach area. Beach area 5 is a nice beach area. So I like that. I like the beach area that you are from here. Yeah, you're not walking distance. You're driving distance, or if you want to bike, you could bike. I would drive from here, to be completely honest. Here's some townhouses, by the way. So yeah, in the 6s, maybe 7s for some of these. But there's some of your townhouses. Some of that end unit townhouse is double car garage. So this is a nice subdivision. There's some nice finishes. And it's just, I think it's a lot of it's still under construction, but once it's like done, and it's being done in sections. So some of it already has turf and sod and all that stuff. So, so yeah, it's getting there, but there's still more to be built. So this is the Wasaga Beach Public School. It just opened last September, so it's still in its first operational year, and feedback's been pretty good. So people seem to be pretty happy with it, and yeah, everything's brand new subdivision, brand new school, brand new homes, and a good selection of sizes of homes. So there's houses as small as like a detached house. One of the smaller detached houses will be like 1,600 square feet. But there's some close to 3,000 or just above it. So you have a pretty big range of detached homes you could get in here. The townhomes are mostly that 3-bedroom, a little under 1,500 square feet size. But yeah, there's a lot of options there and a lot of opportunities. A lot of the people that purchase in here, I'm going to be completely honest and open and transparent on this video. From a lot of people that I've talked to in this subdivision that purchased pre-sale, a lot of them didn't intend to live here. They bought it as an investment, like a lot of people do, and they were hoping to, flip it in the future. And some of them were bought like early COVID, if I could say it like that. Like if we're calling peak COVID February 2022, February, March 2022, a lot of them were bought in 2020, 2021. So they weren't really necessarily, not all of them were bought at peak prices. Some of them were, and they've come down since then. But yeah, there's just a lot for sale is what I'm getting at. So there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of buyer options in this subdivision. If you're a buyer and you want to live in Wasaga and you want something new and you don't need to be walking distance to the water, this is where I would recommend right now. So that's that. I'm just driving back down Sunnidale. Like I said, if you were to leave that subdivision like I just did, and you just go straight down this road, a 3-minute, 4-minute drive, you're at Beach Area 5. Like literally just drive straight through the lights at Mosley, and you're at Beach Area 5. That's a nice beach area. It's not as crowded as Beach Area 1 and 2. Listen, I like 1 and 2. Actually, one of my favorite spots is Beach Area 2, like to go picnicking when people come up from the city and family and friends, and there's picnic tables there and you charcoal barbecue. But a lot of people that live here don't want to live near that necessarily. They might want a cottage near it, maybe, but there's an appeal to cottaging at beach areas 3, 4, 5, 6. I showed you a little bit of 5 and 6 being near 45th Street on the west side. Beach Area 3, for example, if you have a dog, you might want to be near Beach Area 3. That's dog beach. Dogs aren't allowed technically on the rest of the beaches. So if you have a dog, you want to be near Beach Area 3. Unless you want to get in the car each time, and that's fine too. Everybody's got different wants and needs and levels of importance for certain things. Some people don't care to be driving distance to save a certain amount of money, and I'll just drive to the beach. I don't need to be walking distance. Everybody's different, right? So, and when clients come up, we just hop in my truck, and Wasaga Beach is not that big. We can hop in my truck, and I could give you basically this tour, maybe a little bit more specific to you, but I could show you things that you might have not considered. This happens all the time where people are so fixated on one thing or one area or one street or one type of house or cottage, and I go listen, let's just hear me out. Let's just drive to this neighborhood. We'll just drive. We don't have to go inside the house if you don't want to. But if you want to, let's book a showing. Just keep an open mind, right? Because there's a lot of options. You'll be at Beach Area 5. So yeah, working my way east, getting more towards the kind of center of town. Again, on this side of the road is the north side of Mosley. So there's an appeal to being on the north side, not having to cross Mosley. And this part of Mosley is there's 4 lanes, two going each way. Whereas where I was more on the west side between 45th Street and the roundabout going towards Collingwood, it's 1 lane each way, 2-lane road, easier to cross. But as you get closer to Central, it's 2 lanes here. It does cut down to 1 lane each way, but up ahead at these lights, this is where it splits. So if you go left, if you're going to Beach 1 in the summer, most people go left here because they're going to Beach 1, and that's Mosley Street. Like, I'm on Mosley, and then Mosley continues left. Whereas if you head straight, it turns into River Road, right? River Road West. And basically those two streets are on either side of the river. On the Mosley side, you have the river on one side and the beach on the other. And on the River Road side, you have the river on one side and the riverfront homes. And then you have a lot of different subdivisions on the other side of, basically on the south side of River Road West. I'm gonna take you through another one of my favorites, Oxbow Park, the Oxbow Park neighborhood. Honestly, I think it's totally underrated. I think it's like so beautiful, and it's got so much going for it. It's an older neighborhood, a lot like very mature trees. Years ago, it was just cottages. I mean, but a ton of people live on Oxbow now. Oxbow follows the river, the Wasaga River, which does lead out to the bay, right? So if you live on Oxbow and you happen to be on the riverside, you can boat or jet ski over to the beach for the day, right? Or if it's too windy and wavy at the beach, you could just boat down the river and just hang out on the river and go to the provincial park. And there's like a little beach area there on the riverside where there's never waves because it's not in the open water, in the open bay. So I just turned onto Oxbow Park Drive. The prices here are very dependent on if it's an old 600 square foot cottage or a newly built 3,000 square foot home on the water, right? And if you're on the water side or not on the water side, of course. So, and if you're on the water side, the water frontage type and contour and landscape changes a lot on Oxbow Park Drive. There's parts of it that are completely like, you walk out, you take 4 steps down and you're like at level with the water. And there's parts where the dune is so steep you actually can't walk down it. So it's waterfront that might not be that usable, right? So that's one of the things you got to be careful for with waterfront here. On the non-waterfront side, one just sold up here, double lot, dated but nice home, just under $1 million bucks. But it was a nice home on a double lot, right? So that's that there's something to be said about that. But one of the, like a smaller cottage could go as low as 500,000. Some, if below that, you're getting into like tear down or lot price only, land value only type pricing. But yeah, that's kind of what they're going for here. A lot of 100-foot wide lots, but a lot of 50s too. It really, those are kind of the two. Some of them that are really junky cottages and they're 100-foot lots, some people can sever those. As long as you're not in the flood zone. There's a flood zone on Oxbow Park Drive, even if you're not on the river. A few people have been burned by that. You gotta be careful. I'm just driving down. What you see over here is, this is the non-waterfront side. So I'll see how that guy tore it down and just left the door up? That's to save on development fees. So yeah, some of these little ones will go plus minus 500,000 plus minus 50 grand or something like that. 450 to 550. On the waterfront side though, if it's a nice, bigger, newer one, you're $1.5 million easily. A little less if they're a little bit smaller, still nice and new. Like you could be 1.3 to 2 million. I know it's a big range, but if you're talking about a 1,500 square foot or a 3,000 square foot on the water, finished basement, no finished basement, and then finishes in general. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, how is the waterfront? Like, is it a cliff so steep that you can't even walk down? Or is it a comfortable 10 steps and a nice landscape and you have it's well protected, you're not totally in the flood zone, you're not totally up high, there's that kind of in between, that's really important. So that'll influence the price a lot, just that, because it'll be classified as waterfront, but the type of waterfront could be so different. I'm very familiar with this river. I've lived in here 11 years, so if you have any riverfront questions, do let me know. I can kind of tell you what riverfront might be better for you, dependent on what's important to you for the river. So I'm driving on River Road. I just turned off of Oxbow. So I call this kind of like middle-ish Wasaga. On this side of the road, these are the riverfront homes on River Road West. Now, this is a good spot too, because you can have a bigger boat. If you need a bigger boat, if that's to be part of your lifestyle for riverfront living, you can't be on Oxbow. As much as I like it, and it's one of my favorites, if you have a big boat, if it's over a 20-foot boat, you're gonna have a hard time on Oxbow, honestly. Even 18s and some smaller ones have a hard time depending on water levels. But if you have a big boat, this is all marked over here. It's a deeper channel. There's no worries here. There's no problems here, right? So this is where you want to be if that's what you're thinking. And again, prices are all over the place depending on if it's a little cottage or a big house. But the bigger houses are over $1 million, definitely. They can get close to 2 if they're really nice and big, but you're over $1 million here. But a lot of beachfront shoppers like that want waterfront, beachfront specific. I try to get them to at least look at homes on the river. It's a different type of waterfront, obviously, and a different type of lifestyle. If you have kids and you want to walk into the water, you want to be on the beach. But if the boating idea attracts you, then you can have a boat in your backyard. Like you can't have that on the beach in Wasaga, because Wasaga Beach, the beach is provincially owned. You can't have a boat lift there. You don't really own to the water's edge. So you can have your boat at the marina and go there, and that's fine too. Yeah, so this is the like I said, the Silver Birch neighborhood, and then there's a bunch of streets that go off of this. But yeah, this is a really popular subdivision here. Birchview Dunes, Birchview School's right there, and then there's some trails around here. It's surrounded by the provincial parks of Wasaga, like not the beach side, but the provincial park trails. There's like 2,000 square kilometers or something like that. You can go hiking forever and probably get lost. I would. But yeah, homes in here, they're going between a lot of stuff's in the 7s and 8s. A lot of them are raised bungalows. There's not really any 2 stories in here. Yeah, so a lot of them are raised bungalows. And again, depending on the finish, some of the bigger ones do get over $1 million, but there's a lot of 7s and 8s and 9s. If you're, let's say, on Bush Crescent, backing on to the provincial park I was just talking about, you could easily be on the higher of those numbers, and that's what I mean by that. But 7, 8s, 9s, a few in the low millions, very few though. Okay, beach. This is Stonebridge. I'm just passing Stonebridge Plaza over here. This is where a lot of the East End people that live here in cottages, this is where they all come for, the grocery store. Well, there's Foodland, there's a Walmart Supercenter that has the grocery section, of course. Boston Pizza, Wild Wing, Osmo's, Dairy Queen, Swiss Chalet, Harvey's. There's a bunch of stuff in here. So this is the West End amenities here, and I am working my way, East End amenities. East End. By the way, this is the new Wasaga Beach Arena. I'll show more of it in another video, but that's where the hockey team plays. There's some concerts there sometimes. Not long ago, Tim Hicks was there. I went to see the Tim Hicks concert. Sam Roberts band was there. So that was a cool weekend. A good big spot for the wintertime events. And that's also where the new library is. I just showed you through the town hall where the municipal office is. That was the old library. The library's in the same building as the hockey arena. It's a twin pad. There's 2 arenas, 2 rinks. I mean, right off of River Road. This is basically the most eastern part of Wasaga Beach for a subdivision. There's no more subdivisions past this. After this, you're kind of heading into farmland until you hit Elmvale and Crosslands Road. If you're going towards Barrie or Horseshoe Valley and stuff like that. But so yeah, I'm just gonna go in here and you're gonna see these are a lot of the 3-story townhomes in here. So these are some smaller detached ones here, single car garage, and then I'm gonna turn on I'm on Sandhill Crane right now. Some of them are like, this is a raised bungalow right here, but then you got some 2-story here, but mostly there's a lot of 2-story in here. Most of them are 2-story, I'd say. A lot of the detached, so the detached are like 6s and 7s. The townhomes are high 4s, 5s. Detached is 6s and 7s. Whereas Sunnidale, the other new subdivision that we drove through earlier, those townhomes are in the 6s, not in the 5s. But the detached there's nothing detached for 6 like there is here. So you can get into a detached for the mid 6s here, and whereas on the other one you'll be in a townhouse for that price. So yeah, that's some of the main differences between the two new subdivisions. At least that's what I got for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, if this is your first time on the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Wasaga Beach, make sure you tap the bell, subscribe for notifications. That way you'll be the first to know what's happening in Wasaga Beach. Leave a comment. Leave a comment if there's something I didn't go over, missed, something more you want to know about Wasaga Beach. And then, hey, if you want to reach out to me, doesn't matter if you're thinking about moving next month, next year, and you just want to learn more about the area, in the contact section of this video, there is a link where you can book a call with me directly on my calendar, a Zoom link, so we can get to know each other that way. Hope you enjoyed that, and looking forward to helping you make a smooth move to Wasaga Beach.